All right, guys, it's Mrs. Davy here. I'm actually going to introduce our reading skills a little bit differently this week. Kind of thought it might be fun to watch a video and kind of see what we're doing instead of starting our class with it. I think it'll give us a little bit more time to really read and dive into our stories. So we're going to try that for this week. So, as you can see, we got a lot going on here on the screen, but I would like to start us off kind of like we usually do with our essential question for the week. This week's essential question is, how can words lead to change? So, I started out with a little picture here of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You obviously had off of school because of him on Monday. So I put a little quote on here. I found this. It said, "We must learn to live together as brothers, or we will perish together as fools." His words led to a lot of change for a group of people we've been reading about last week in Delivering Justice. So what I wanted to do is play a quick video for you and kind of show you how different words can lead to change for different groups of people. So here we go.
Powerful words. How can words lead to change? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a powerful speaker who spoke out against racial discrimination in America. This 1963 speech in Washington, D.C. inspired people to join in the fight against inequality and prompted new civil rights laws.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Nelson Mandela also worked to end racial inequality in South Africa. He inspired many people with his speeches. He became president after the first truly democratic election in South Africa.
Now is the time for celebration, for South Africans to join together to celebrate the birth of democracy.
Okay, so that was just a small video to kind of show you 2 important people that we are going to be reading about. We're going to read about some others as well. Some of the things that we're going to be working on this week are finding main ideas and details to write an informative summary. So over there with the pencil, I gave you a little bit of an organizer, kind of some clues as to what main idea and details should be looking like. The main idea, is what the text is about. The details are the specific things that support the main idea. So under here, their main idea is that their school is excellent. Some of their details are that they have great teachers, they have dedicated students, and they have supportive parents. All of those boxes in green tell you about how their school is excellent. The other thing we're going to work on again is the author's point of view, or the position or the attitude of the author. You're going to have to look closely at reasons and evidence presented in the text to help you figure out how the author feels about a topic. We did this last week with Delivering Justice. We talked about how there was injustices, and we talked about the specific examples that we found in the story, like the separate water fountains, the fact that white people were served before their black counterparts, all things we've already discussed. Moving on, some important vocabulary words. You guys are going to get a copy of this just so that you can see the words, but I kind of thought it'd be nice to go over them like we usually do with the cards. So the first word is address. An address is a formal speech. So you kind of see our picture here. This lady has an idea by the little light bulb. She's giving a formal speech on her idea. You see how she's very dressed up. She's in front of a podium. She's giving that formal speech. Our second word is divided. Divided means separated into parts or pieces. These 2 groups of people are separated to 2 groups, red, blue. They don't agree on something. They're divided. Haste is our next word. That means something done with quickness in moving or in acting. So this guy right here, maybe he's late for work. He's moving with haste. He's trying to get there quickly. Our next word is opposed. Opposed means against something. These 2 gentlemen are against something. They do not have the same views. They are debating. Our next word is perish. Oh, we've heard this word before. Perish means to disappear or vanish or to die. So I did a little tombstone here. Rest in peace. Moving on, we have a proclamation. This is an official public announcement of something. This guy's Abraham Lincoln. He gave an official public announcement having to do with slavery. You'll see the United States in the background. The next word we have is shattered. Shattered means completely destroyed or ruined. This mirror right here is shattered. Our last word is tension. Tension means, that should not say mentor, that should say mental. Mental or emotional strain. You see this guy has some mental, his hands are up by his head, strain. Strain means like pain or frustration. So now really quickly, we're going to use them in a sentence. So we're going back and looking at the address. We could say, in her address, we could call her the mayor. The mayor urged the city to start recycling plastic bottles. So that's what she was doing. That was her idea up there, right up here. That was her idea. She was giving that formal address. So then our next word, divided. We could say the two groups of people were divided over their favorite ice cream flavor. They had two different flavors of ice cream that they liked. Haste, we could say, we could go ahead and say that Emma had to make haste in order not to be late for class. So she had to move very fast. Our next word is opposed. So we could say the men opposed each other's ideas during the debate. We could leave it at that. So they opposed their ideas. They were against each other's ideas. Perish, to disappear, to go away. This is kind of a different definition of it, but you could say you put lettuce in the fridge, it will stay fresh and not perish as quickly. I know that's a little bit different than how we've been seeing it, but it's still another example. Proclamation is another one. So for proclamation, we could say, what did I put as our picture up here? Abraham Lincoln. So we could say Abraham Lincoln proclamation about slavery was heard all across the United States. And then shattered. Shattered, remember, that was something that was completely ruined. We could go ahead and say the mirror fell to the ground and shattered into a million little pieces. And then finally, our last word here is tension. Remember, tension was that little smiley face guy. We could say that Ethan felt tension as he tried to remember what the correct answer was on his math test. So Ethan might be feeling a little stressed there. So as we go through and as we practice these words, we're going to use them in a few different ways, but you guys are going to have this as an example. As soon as we meet for class, we're going to go ahead and get started right away. We're going to start reading the stories, looking at the author's point of view or perspective, and then finding the main idea and details in order to write a summary. And that was Chloe. See you guys soon.